the first man-made object we sent up into space. 30 years later, and 7.4 billion miles away, we tried to talk to it. Didn't know if the radioisotope had decayed. Didn't do it. Well, we got a response back so many hours later, blah, 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 blah. We got a response. Everybody got excited. Wow. Guess how much energy it took to communicate 7.4 billion miles away and 30 years up there with the decayed radioisotope? How much energy? Transmitter had a power of 40 watts, same as the light bulb. This is where you start saying, what do you mean Bill Tiller and those guys are saying that we can transmit and this across the country? And it's right there. It doesn't take a lot of energy. It's subtle energy in the right frequencies in the right way to make communication. And if you think our human bodies don't respond to this, you know, I would disagree with you. All right, let's keep going. Just some Dr. Pop, again, Nobel Prize winners talking about light emissions. We know that he talks about photonic communication in every cell, subtle energies. Won't go into this. We got another one coming up. Is Dr. Adley is talking about less frequency, less subtle energies making the biggest changes in the human body out of anything that we can do. Arndt Schultz law, I won't get into that. It's a law of physics. Weak stimuli can stimulate processes. They excite it. And as soon as we get, the weaker we go, the more repair and restoration we get. When you go to a strong one, they arrest it. That's what most pharmaceuticals do. They're meant to help us with our symptoms. Most do not correct or fix anything. Okay, and that's just showing us that more energy, we get to an effect at a certain level of energy, and if you keep going and you get too strong, it becomes bioinhibitory instead of stimulatory. These are just laws of physics that apply in medicine and in pharmaceuticals and to energy medicines. Okay, let's keep going. Let's see, it's almost out of time. Keep going. I think everybody's seen that. Keep going. Keep going. I won't get into all that. Keep going. Keep going. We've talked about that. And keep going. I won't get into that. It's too much. But microcurrent, color therapy, music, vibrational. The Monroe Institute is doing studies with music and sound and vibration, and it's called HemiSync, and it balances left and right brain. Talk about sleep, and I will tell you that the music that Barry Goldstein, which I think he might be one of your speakers, Tucker's been talking to him from New York, some of his music that's been put in with the HemiSync. When I give that to patients, they tell me, my whole family, we all go to sleep now. We go to sleep and we sleep all night, and all we do is put the music on. Balance, relaxation, get autonomic nervous system set, and it's phenomenal. Vibrational sound music works. Water, cold laser, and scanar, we already talked about, the new Russian medical technology. Things that have been documented with cold lasers, that's a low-level red light laser. These are things that we know and have been documented for it to be able to help with. And like I said, this is like a lower generation, in my opinion, to what the scanner is doing. Okay. And these are the mechanisms of how we are watching and seeing cold laser go into and work, but I won't get into it. And scanner we talked about, let's go to the last one, is just, I do believe in time. Especially with a lot of the science and the studies that are being done right now by some of our top researchers and physicists particularly. Physics hasn't talked to medicine yet very well, but it's starting to. And the medical people who are ready to listen to that, I think will make very big changes in our healthcare. Right now, our system is not built for this. It's a pharmacological and surgical model. It's not built for this. But I do believe it's the wave of the future, and yes, it is Star Trek. People go, that looks like Star Trek. You know, you're diagnosing and treating with this, and I go, where do you think Star Trek writers got that? They were doing red light laser and diagnosing and treating with this in Europe. Somebody went over there and traveled, one of the writers, and they used it in our Star Trek, and we all went, wow, wouldn't that be cool? It already existed. And they've gone on and on and on to build it better. And I will tell you from a clinical perspective, in my clinic, it works, there's no side effects, it's phenomenal, I see great changes, and it's beyond placebo. because people who could not mechanically walk can get up. That means the body's plasticity ability remapped, did what it needed to do to come back to function. And it couldn't do it with a drug or a botanical or a nutritional supplement, none of that. It needed the right information to say, wrong pathway, choose another one. And bodies, what this technology and all this has done for me is remind me every single day of the capacity of the human body and how amazing it is. We need to give it the right information and get out of the way. We've had some of our greatest, Hippocrates and everyone, the statements that they make, you know, doctors are just there to keep the mind busy so the body can heal itself. And that's true. But we do have a lot coming at us, EMF and everything else, and I think we need to rebalance with some of these things. It's been phenomenal in practice, and the proof is in the pudding. Experience it for yourself when you can, and you'll be a believer just from what you notice and what you see with it. Okay. One more slide. My favorite quote. You guys probably already know it. Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition for mediocre minds. I love that quote. And I'm not willing to step outside and say, do we know everything about this yet? No. But I can tell you clinically what I see, and it's real. And it's great because I don't have to worry about side effects. Yes, ma'am. Oh, okay, I think you
I'm just waving around.